What is going on, you guys? I am back here for another video today, and today we're going to be talking about the Justice League. So Justice League is directed by Zack Snyder, and Joss Whedon helped out when Zack's daughter committed suicide. Condolences to you. But Zack Snyder got the ultimate director's cut decision. But anyways, this film is about the Bruce Wayne Batman and Diana Prince Wonder Woman. They start recruiting a team called the Justice League. And they recruit people like Aquaman, Cyborg, and the Flash. They all team up together to take down the bad guy, Steppenwolf. Now, I have been waiting for this film for a very long time, and I'm sure most of you guys were too. It's just every comic book fan, superhero fan's dream to see all these great characters coming together on a big screen. And with all that being said, I was pretty satisfied with the result of this movie, of how it turned out. It wasn't a perfect film by any means, but I really did enjoy it. It was a very fun superhero film with great action involved. Now, there were some things that I didn't like, and there were some things that I liked, but I wanted more upon them. But the thing that this film does is it has you engaged from the beginning to end. And I'll be talking about those flaws when I'm talking about the rest of the movie. But since this film is about superheroes, let's start off with the superheroes. So yet again, we have Batman, played by Ben Affleck, in which he's returning for his second portrayal of Batman. And everyone was worried, like even before Batman vs. Superman, if Ben Affleck was the right fit. But he proved us right for the second time. He is totally the right fit. He is such a great leader of this Justice League team, and he really knows how to take charge. He is the best Batman up to date so far. And Gal Gadot, again, she was in Batman vs. Superman, Wonder Woman. Now she's back in the Justice League. What can we say about her? She is so beautiful, and she's such a badass at the same time. And same again with Ben Affleck. Everyone was so worried about her being the Wonder Woman because she was mainly known for being a model at the time before her acting career, and everyone was a little cautious and worried about that. But out of everyone in the Justice League so far, she is the most proven character by a ton. She had some great scenes in this film, and it felt like it was a continuing of the Wonder Woman film, and I loved that. And I also loved how they brought back Wonder Woman's home place of Themyscira. And considering that Wonder Woman was there back when World War I was going on, and I honestly thought they would abandon the whole Themyscira place, but it's actually back, and it's not a big focus in the film, but I'm just glad to see how it's not just thrown away. They're still having it together in the universe. Now, the Flash, played by Ezra Miller, he is probably my favorite out of the new three characters. The other two, Aquaman and Cyborg. The Flash was just so funny, and he was so consistent with all of his jokes. I was laughing just about 90% of the stuff that came out of his mouth. And a good comparison on who the Flash kind of resembles himself as, I would have to say Tom Holland's portrayal of Spider-Man and Evan Peters' portrayal of Quicksilver. And that is a great comparison. He totally matches it, and both of those two characters I just named, they're great, which makes Ezra Miller's Flash greater. And so we have these other two characters by the names of Aquaman, played by Jason Momoa, and Cyborg, played by Ray Fisher. And with their characters, they aren't portrayed bad by these actors. In fact, I think they actually fit them like really well. It's just that I felt like that they were kind of less important than the other members of the Justice League, and I needed more of them on screen time. I just felt like I needed tons more of development from these two characters, especially. Before we talk about my favorite character in this film, we're going to be talking about the villain, Steppenwolf. Was he good? To be honest, not really. Now, people were complaining with his character about him being too CGI, and I totally get that, but that wasn't really my concern. My problem with his character is kind of like Aquaman and Cyborg, is I needed more of a development from him. I felt like he could have been used much more, and the way they explored his past, I thought was a little mediocre. I kind of wanted them to explore his motivation more. And this was a part that kind of bugged me. Like, we all know in superhero films we have the civilians, and usually when it shows the civilians, they're usually running away from some sort of monster or something, and the superheroes come in. I would have liked to see a basic concept like that. I wouldn't mind. In fact, I would have liked to see that. but instead this main civilians that it shows is like this one little family, and that's like every 20 minutes in the film. And it just feels kind of unnecessary because they have really virtually nothing to do with the story. I just thought it would have been a little bit more effective with just showing people running around instead of this centered on this one family that doesn't really do much. Okay, now the best for last, and that is Henry Cavill as Superman. This guy is freaking awesome. And let me just say, he got built for this role as Superman for the, in fact, third time. And people were questioning on how his mustache would look like with CGI. There is, in fact, one scene where I kind of had a problem with that, but for the rest of the film, I thought his mustache wasn't that noticeable. I thought it was fine. But there is a scene in this film involving Superman, and it is, in fact, my favorite DCEU scene up to date. It is a freaking brilliant scene. If you guys watch Justice League, you guys will probably know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to spoil it away, but it's a pretty big, impactful scene. And Superman truly shows what hope means in this film, and it shows why he is my favorite superhero of all time. Now, before I get to my grade, I just wanted to talk about the whole Justice League process and how this was kind of put out. So we've only had Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, Suicide Squad, and Wonder Woman. Now, I would have loved to seen Cyborg solo film first. I would have liked to seen Flash, Aquaman, all before Justice League. Just kind of like the Avengers, but it's not even ripping off them. I think that's just how they should have done it. Because that way, you could have had more of a development for these characters coming into Justice League. Even Batman, played by Ben Affleck. I know we got hundreds of Batman portrayals over the years, but Ben Affleck's Batman is just so different. I feel like it's just such a different Batman to explore that they should have had his own origin film as well. We already had our origin film from Superman and Wonder Woman, but that was after Batman vs. Superman, but it didn't matter because that was a prequel. I'm a sucker for origin stories, and I would have loved to seen origin stories of the other members of the Justice League because I think it would have been so much more effective of the Justice League film. And I'm just hoping when this film releases on Blu-ray, I hope they have some sort of different cut, like an extended cut or something, because I think it will honestly be better than the theatrical cut. More like Batman vs. Superman in the Ultimate Edition cut, how that one was better than the theatrical. I think the Justice League could have so much more scenes. I would have loved to have seen another half hour or 45 minutes put into this thing. Okay, now let's get straight to the point. How was this film? Well, it wasn't perfect. It definitely had some flaws, but it was honestly one of my favorite films of the year because I like to see all these characters share the screen time together. I nerded out tons of times watching this film. I just think it could have been really better than it was. And with all that said, I'm going to give the Justice League a B-. Now guys, I had a ton of fun watching this film. Like I said, it's honestly one of my favorite, most entertaining films of the year. I did enjoy it so much. Even though I did have some flaws, I really thoroughly enjoyed it. And there is also, I don't know if you guys ever watched Smallville, but there is a scene involving Superman and Flash. I'm not going to point out the scene, but if you guys know what the scene is, comment below and tell me what you guys thought about that scene. I thought it was like a big kind of Easter egg reference to Smallville, and it was one of my favorite scenes in the film. And there is two after credit scenes, one right before the credits hit and one right after the credits end, so stick around for both of them. Now guys, the most important question here today, what did you guys think about Justice League? Drop your comments down below, and if you guys enjoyed this video, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so that way you can see me next time. Thanks for watching.